Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Kayla, and in this video I wanted to show you guys the 10 nonfiction audiobooks that I want to read this coming spring, winter of 2021. So let's get into that. So slight disclaimer potentially for some people, but most of these books are memoirs. I honestly actually don't think that any of them are not memoirs now that I've thought about it, but half of them are political memoirs. So if you do not want to read about a political figure, then probably the first 5 or 6 you don't care about. But with that being said, let's jump into it. So the first book that I plan on listening to for the coming spring season is Becoming by Michelle Obama. Now, this book is a memoir on Michelle Obama's life, and I am a huge fan of the First Lady Michelle Obama, and I have seen the Netflix documentary series thing that goes with this book, and I have heard nothing but great things about this memoir for Michelle Obama. Book 2 that I plan on reading is The Truths We Hold by Kamala Harris. So I was recommended this book by Martine over at Just Martine, and I am very excited to read this book. I don't actually know a whole lot about Kamala Harris's personal life prior to her being the vice president-elect and now currently the vice president. So I'm very excited to get into this and kind of learn about her backstory that I kind of know a little bit about. And yeah, book 3 is Everything Beautiful in Its Time by Jenna Bush Hager. So I am actually a huge fan of Jenna Bush Hager. There's just something about Jenna that is nice to watch her interview other people and things like that. And I have read Jenna's other book. I believe she wrote with her sister, which is about their life. But this particular book, Jenna wrote about her grandparents and everything she learned from her grandparents, because her paternal grandparents are, I'm sure you know, but her paternal grandparents are the former President George Bush and his wife Barbara Bush. And while I'm probably not huge fans of their political views, I do like the Bush family as a family unit. And I actually, side note, I don't think I've ever told you guys this, is a very weird part of my history or my life, but when the former President Bush passed away, he lived in Houston, and my best friend Mitchell and I at like 11:30 at night decided that we were gonna go to the wake of President Bush. So we drove into Houston because we lived kind of outside. We drove into Houston, got dressed up at 11:30 at night. We showed up at the meeting place and we went through security, and we stood in this long line, and they put us on a metro bus that was specifically going from one location to the church that President Bush and his wife Barbara attended. And we got to walk through the church, and at the end of the church were military personnel standing with the casket of former President Bush. And we were only there for a couple of minutes because the lines were long and they were kind of shuttling people through. But that was such an amazing experience to live through, to be able to see that happen. And we got to the original place at 11:30, and we got home at like 3 in the morning. And it was a well worth trip to honor former President Bush in that way. So book 4 is Too Much and Never Enough by Mary L. Trump. And this book was written by President Donald Trump's niece, I believe. And it is kind of about the Trump family and different things about President Trump. And if I remember correctly, this book is very loved and hated by a lot of people just because of the content that it has. But my mom read it, and I told her that I was planning on reading it, and she said that I would find a lot of the information in this book very interesting, and so I'm really looking forward to that one as well. Number 5 is What Happened by Hillary Rodham Clinton, and this book is basically Hillary Clinton writing about what happened in 2016. And while 2016 election was the first presidential election I was allowed and old enough to vote in, I kind of didn't look a lot into it and everything that was going on with that. And because I was 18, it wasn't really something that I really cared about to really dive deep into something like that and learn that information. So I'm very looking forward to reading this because I want to see what happened. I want to see what Hillary Clinton has written in this book to explain what happened with that election, and then everything that I think it covers stuff that happened after. Okay, so that is the end of the political books. Everything else are other people. Book number 6 is No Time Like the Future by Michael J. Fox. When I found out this book was coming out, I found every library access of it that I could get my hands on. I originally got the ebook of it, and then I decided that I would actually rather listen to Michael J. Fox narrate this story, which I'm hoping that he is the narrator of this. But I have actually read all of Michael J. Fox's other memoirs, but this one in particular is about him aging. He talks about kind of aging and his fear on that, and just different stories about his morality. And since I have read all of his other memoirs and I'm a huge Michael J. Fox fan, I needed to read this. 7 is Over the Top by Jonathan Van Ness. I love Jonathan Van Ness. I want to know everything about him, so I'm very excited to read this book. Number 8 is The Magnolia Story by Chip and Joanna Gaines, and I don't have a whole lot to say about this. I love Chip and Joanna Gaines. I am huge fans of theirs, so I would love to read this book. Number 9 is All I Know Now by Carrie Hope Fletcher. Carrie Hope Fletcher is an actress, a singer. She is on different productions of in the West End, which I believe is London's version of our New York Broadway. And she has been in Heathers, Les Mis, The Addams Family, all of those things. And then her older brother is Tom Fletcher, who is a member of the band McFly, who I adore. I love McFly. They're probably one of my favorite bands when I was in high school. So this book is just kind of Carrie's story. Finally, number 10, I have Mindhunter by John E. Douglas, and I have seen the first season of Mindhunter on Netflix. So this book is about John Douglas, who was a FBI profiler for different serial killers. And I believe it just talks about his craft of being a profiler and things like that. I have seen Mindhunter, but it's been like years or whatever when it first came out. So I'm very excited to get back into the mind, I guess, of John Douglas. And I know Jan loves this book, so I'm looking forward to reading it. And then hopefully I can chat with Jan and see what her thoughts are on it. So those were the 10 nonfiction / memoir audiobooks that I would like to get to this spring 2021 season. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have read any of these, let me know. If you want to read any of these, let me know and chat with me down below, and maybe we could set up a buddy read if you want to read any of these memoirs with me, if you can get your hands on them. I would love to see you guys chatting in the comments. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to interact with this video. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.